Hey, it's another Tuesday night.
Tuesday
ChickChat
KC.
tonight. If you've joined us, please tell us where you're joining us from. And also, if you would not mind sharing this live stream, because we're going to have fun tonight talking about one subject this time, which is awesome. So how is everybody? Tell me who's joined me, and welcome to ChickChat. It's hard to say.
It is kind of hard. ChickChat
Chicklets. Like, do you remember
Yep.
chicklets?
Chicklets. Yep.
Chicklets.
Chicklet.
But it's like a chicklet.
It's a
So,
Chick-chat.
hey, Trina. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Tina. All right, I got 2. You got 1 so far. The competition every week. We decided.
Come on, KC. Where are my people?
That's right. Come on.
My people
Oh,
are all
Jeff.
tired. We
There's
just came back.
Jeff. Dog trainer dude. There's dog
What's
trainer
up,
dude. Jeff, Caitlin, Tina, Teresa. Hey. All right. They all in the house. So welcome,
right.
you guys. Welcome.
What's
So
up?
how's it going? It's been what, 2 weeks since we
we missed last week because I was about to travel.
Yes.
So,
And then and then Labor Day weekend. It was so nice having that long weekend, wasn't it?
Mine didn't seem to be very long. I mean, mine was very, very busy, but lots of driving. I think we figured out almost 40 hours of driving in 3 days. So it was long, but good.
Yes. And she was close by me, and she didn't want to drive 5 more hours to visit me. I just don't understand it.
I was not driving.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But now you know what that drive is like, right?
Yeah, I don't really care if I ever do that again.
Okay, then fly. Okay, so welcome, you guys.
Fly.
So we are, in fact, today here in Virginia was the first day of school for the public schools. So what about there? You guys?
We started a long time ago.
Long time ago? Really?
Yeah, I don't know when the public school, like the high school, started. Well, we dropped Kelsey off the middle of August. Yeah.
Wait, sorry, I shouldn't be on here. I thought it was Jeff. You are. I'm gonna have to ban him in a minute. A lot of the kids started around August 11th. Please disregard the last comment that I flashed up there, by the way. See, that's why they give you, you know what? It is whatever.
It's fine. As long as it's not a pic, we're good.
Yeah. So, North Carolina schools started the middle of August. So, yeah, but around here, today was the day. And I don't know about you, but because we're talking about changes tonight, seasons and changes. So, you know, sometimes for me, I remember the end of summer, and Labor Day was always the very end. And we had that long weekend. Everybody closed down the pools. And then, which is unfortunate, which doesn't make sense that they close it down at that time. But because it's really not like today, it's hot still here. So, you know, closing down and stuff.
It's not that hot here.
Yeah. So I always think of the changes of the seasons. Like as soon as September comes around, what does everybody start talking about? Pumpkin spice, pumpkin, everything. Everybody's a pumpkin.
Yes, Caitlin is obsessed with Halloween, and so she has already started her
spooky season.
Yep.
Spooky season. But just like in the, you know, I don't know about you, but my mood is affected by season changes even. Like I'm affected by weather. And so, you know, my mood can change. Hey, Brian. Hey there. Oh, you might be winning on me now. So, all right, you might be winning.
Come on,
So,
KC.
so I want to read like a little poem. It's by or just a statement really. Anne Bradstreet says, "If we had no winter, the spring would not be so pleasant. If we did not taste adversity, then prosperity would not be so welcome." So you can think of seasons as kind of in your life. You have different seasons, even if it doesn't line up actually with the climate seasons, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, like, you know, when you think of winter, like say you were to say I'm in a winter period season kind of in your life, what does that connotate for you, Heather?
Well, I think that the winter season for me is when you're calming down. You're bringing things down to a point where you're like, I don't know. For me, it's when I kind of start to hibernate and process things and start preparing for the next bloom, if you will, in the spring. So I kind of go
Mhm.
inward during my
Mhm.
winter season so I
Yeah.
can prepare for the blooming of spring, which is when I make a lot of big changes or um, I don't know. I just feel like the winter for me is a lot of growth.
Right. So winter for you is growth in your head.
Hmm.
So for me, winter, since I'm not much for the winter and the cold and that kind of thing, a winter for me, it is more like I mean, kind of similar, is more of a reflection time,
Right.
more of, okay, now it's time to switch out some old things and it's
Hmm.
about to go into the new things.
Right.
And, it's kind of like, it just depends. And since I personally, I don't stay in a depressed mood, but if I'm going to be in a depressed mood, it'll be in my winter. Like that's when my sadness would be, or my loneliness, or I kind of connotate winter time as those times. Is my season, not again, not totally matching up with the climate winter, but if I'm going into kind of like a time to hybrid, like you're saying, hibernate and kind of, I don't know, I feel like my emotions change in that. um I am a summer girl, so I like everything summer. Summer to me, seems positive. I think you're frozen, Heather, on my end. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna wait to see if she reconnects. Are you there? So yeah, Teresa, she loved the Four Seasons in Toronto. So Heather is having a connection lag. So that happens. Sometimes tech happens, right? Okay, yep. She's going to log back in. So yeah, Eli, I hate the cold. I wish I could sleep through winter. See? We do. We kind of want to hibernate, you know. But I mean, I feel like our life is this. I brought up I actually posted it in the top of the chat. There is a link to a YouTube video that Jim Rohn put out. And if you all know who Jim Rohn is, he's one of my favorite motivators. Like early on, when I was a health educator and I was teaching, I would use a lot of his positive quotes. So if you ever check him out, there's a lot of quotes out there. You're going, who wrote that? It was Jim Rohn. So he is amazing. He was in sports. Definitely go check him out and everything that he's done. He's just amazing. So I guess Heather is having an issue, so she shall be right back on. But winter is not my favorite. Winter's what makes it my favorite, of course, is the holidays. So Trina, yep, they are unique. I mean, I like to put up the lights, and if they're sparkling with the snow, that's nice. But just like our climate seasons, that we can take and like things out of them and learn something new, right? So, summer is my favorite as far as the weather goes, but also I have a different attitude in the summer. I mean, my personality kind of comes out, and I think of all the things I can do. Like that's my busy season. That's when I busy myself with tasks. And in that video clip that's in the comments, up there she is. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, she's back. You were missed because I
Well,
was just blabbing on.
I think now that there's another person in here and he's gaming in the other room, like I think we overloaded. I'm gonna have to get a booster or something. But anyway,
Yes, there was
what
a
are we talking
lag.
about?
We were talking about, I said I like winter only when I put the Christmas lights up and the lights are beaming off of them. But that's because, I feel like I like things to light up, and in winter it can get dark, just like a winter time in your season can get dark, it gets darker earlier, and there are lots of things, it gets colder, all of those things. I'm just a summer girl that wants to do, Trina, more light in the summer, longer light to do more things during the day, warmer weather. Yeah, I mean, if I think of the summer season of my life, it's doing, but it's kind of not. In the summer, you're not really planting much.
No. For me, I'm on the go more, so I'm not doing as much reflecting and working on things. And I kind of look forward to when the winter comes in this sense, or fall, to when it gets cold and I don't want to leave the house, because then I can go inward and kind of,
right,
start reflecting on things that have happened and what I want to change, and then get prepared for the next, the new year.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, well, seasons are cyclical, but also I think that our seasons in life are cyclical. I mean, I get like a new burst of energy for some reason. Like today was the first day of school for the kids, but even though I don't have any kids, I still get that little boost of, oh man, I wish I was smelling the new pencils and the paper and all that. And it's new, and it's like you can do something new this year. Last year's passed away, and
Yep.
now you're in I was talking about that video I posted in the chat about, you can reap what you've sown. Like the harvest season, that what we're going into is reaping what you've sown. But what if you didn't sow anything for the last couple seasons? Like, what
Yeah.
if and that's in your life too. It isn't just about, the weather, and it isn't just
Right.
about outside. It's about here. What have you been planting? What have you been doing to, get to where you want to be? Have you been reflecting? Have you been doing a new crop, a new soil of something, and I think that the harvest, the September, October season is the time where we are reaping that, right? And then winter has to come, because then we have to rest, right? So winter has to come for us to rest. I mean, this, even in physical, crops need to rest, and that's when they rest, right? That's when they go down to, everything and rest. I mean, you have to help that
Right.
happen. So you've been helping on a farm. So tell me, is there a different preparation, or you just been helping with horses, right?
Well, we've been weeding the garden, and so that it would the when the weeds grow up too much, then the plants can't breathe, so they will suffocate the plants, and then they won't
Right.
grow anymore. So we've been going out and um weeding out the weeds so the plants can grow, and then working with the horses and stuff like that. So there's not a lot of crops out there. There's berries, there's the vegetable garden, there's a greenhouse that has herbs and stuff like that in it. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It's like if you let too many weeds in, then you can't grow. So that's where,
That's right.
the winter is when everything kind of dies down a little bit, so that you can.
It gives you a time to reflect,
Yeah.
or get something, or let it rest, and
Right.
be able to do something new, and I like spring too. I like spring and summer. So a lot of people like fall and winter, and I'm a spring and summer. So and it just matches my personality, right? Like, and I have to admit that those characteristics, I brought up this article that talks about personal seasons. And this is what they said. They said season of winter is sadness, heartbreak, loneliness, sickness. That can be, it can be. And season of spring is hope, new beginnings, opportunities. Season of summer is signs of growth, need for protection, and abundance of distractions. Season of fall, successes and achievements and failures. And Jim Rohn actually in that video says the same thing, that whatever you reaped, which is your successes, achievements, and even your failures, failures teach us, right? So even
Right.
you going through a season of failure, that's a great time. It's an opportunity actually to learn on how you're going to get to that next season. It is an opportunity. All failures are a bridge to success, right? So,
I don't even like to use the word failure. I don't think there are failures. I think that
well,
everything's a lesson. If it doesn't end up with the same result you expected, it's still a lesson, but it doesn't mean that
yes,
you failed.
right, right. So, but in our own minds, we can think it's a failure. I
Sure. You can,
mean, I mean, we can look at it like that, but some people, I mean, I've been talking to some people right now who have investments in the stock markets. So, what's happening there? I mean, there's failures. I mean, it's failing and they're losing a lot of money. So, they look at that as a failure of the market. It wasn't their personal failure, but maybe an investment failure. But it's an opportunity to learn, right? So now what they're doing is they're scrambling and they're going to reinvest in something that now they're going to research what the best stock is now to, put their money back into. So, I mean, every failure, it teaches you something. What did you learn from that? How are you going to go forward and get to your springtime? What are you going to plant this next time? What seeds do you need to retreat? What seeds do you want to plant? It really just, I mean, that's what I'm talking about in seasons. So you guys who are still out here, um, tell me what you think about your different seasons. And some people call the winter of our life being our older ages, right? Like the autumn or the winter of our lives. But I don't know. I'm still I'm midlife, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like
I
I'm
don't feel like
in that
it. And
season yet. I still feel like I have so much to learn. I'm like, I still need to learn a bunch of stuff.
yeah, I totally don't feel that way. I think that I still am learning every day, but I'm opposite. I'm different than you in the sense that
Yeah.
I like spring and fall. I'm not a huge
Right.
fan of summer, even though I am a water baby. I like spring and fall. I don't care as much for winter, but I like winter when I can buckle down by myself and sit in front of a fire and read a good book and have that. I know some people don't like that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like I've been going nonstop since, I don't know, March, April. I'm ready to kind of start shutting it down
Yeah.
and coming inward. And like I said, doing some fire pits and um, just spending that quality time, not going quite so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, like right now for fall for me, I don't know, it re-inspires me somehow. I get re-inspired in fall. The fall of my life, I feel like I feel like I don't know if it's because we went to school and I think it's kind of just a mindset, right? Like, so I think I have that mindset. Well, school time, it's time to everything's new and it's time for me to research something or be educated or something like that. And I like what Nora said about this. Without failure, it's difficult to learn. It can make you dig deeper and try harder or to find a better way to accomplish whatever it is. That's right. That's right. Yep, she's hyped for it. See, I like fall just because of that. I feel like and like I said, I think it comes from me starting school, Um, what would you call this season of your life though? Like,
Hmm. For me right now, I know that I think this season of my life, I'm definitely in a season of learning.
yeah.
I am helping, in another um, area to kind of launch kind of phase, sort of. And so it's something totally different than what I'm used to. So right now I am literally like a sponge. Like I'm just absorbing everything that I can and learning as much as I can about as many topics as I can. And so that way I can learn it, process it, and go into the new year ready and stronger than I was this year.
Good. That's good. And now, like I said, we keep tossing back and forth. We're talking about actual climate, and I mean, we're talking about both. So Teresa said, yeah, I hear that too already. Oh, I can't wait to get my flannels and my sweaters and out and everything. And I'm like, nope, I just came from Kansas.
Yeah, no, see,
I'm not ready.
am
Pay it
I'm ready for the sweat.
Yeah. You're ready for the sweaters?
I am.
Pay it
I'm
forward.
done with the summer wardrobe.
Not me.
What's up, Izzy?
Hello.
I'm definitely winning now.
Okay, yeah, you think you're definitely winning? I don't know. I got Teresa and Nora. I don't know. Just kidding.
Maybe.
Thank you guys for joining us. So if you have anything to add, please feel free in the comments to add, anything that you've ever gleaned about the seasons. We are always all in different seasons too. And how does that communicate with each person, and how do we interact, right? I mean, you're in the launch phase and I'm in a different phase, and we're all in these different things. We get so busy. It's really important for us to recognize what season somebody else is into. I think it can't always be about us. So I think we have to step back and go, hey, that's awesome. How that you're doing that,
Right.
Of course, I'm in the perpetual season of wanting people to succeed, and myself wanting to succeed. And how am I going to get there? And how can I help people to be unstuck to get there also? I mean, that's kind of a season, I know that you're on that path too. So, yeah, flip-flops forever, Teresa. Yes.
Well, I mean, you can wear flip-flops and a sweater. There's no rules against that.
I see it. What about the dudes that wear the shorts and the flip-flops like all winter? I mean, I mean, I don't get it. It's they freeze to death.
My son-in-law, I don't ever. He all winter long. He might have on tennis shoes, but he'll have on like dudes and shorts all winter.
Yeah. Remember the style way back with the corduroy shorts and the stockings and the boots, and then of course it had to be like a knit sweater. I'm a fashionista, so
I feel like that's.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
huh?
I feel like it's coming back.
Is it?
I feel like you're going to see that this summer.
She wears sandals and flip-flops even when it's snowing. I don't get it. I mean, are your feet are they that hot? No, I mean, seriously.
I'm a huge non-believer of socks and sandals. And Sunday I was sporting socks and sandals because my feet were cold, but I didn't want to have tennis shoes on.
Oh my. Okay. So now she's in that season.
So I
So you're in the season of comfortability over fashion. So there you go.
Yep.
We all have different seasons. I mean, there's no doubt. But really, changing, I want to know if you want to change. I mean, that's my thing. I see people that I know for a long time that kind of just stay in the same season. And it makes me go, because that's just not my personality type. My personality type is, I guess would say, type A. And, I never understand that. I go, how, and sometimes I wish I could be like that. I'm not putting, I'm not judging them in any way. I'm just saying I can't be like that. But, how can't, fire pits, wine, music, and good company. That sounds good. Yeah. I do like that. We have done that, right, Heather? We have done that.
Yeah.
See, you looked fashionable to her.
Thank you, Izzy. Yeah, we were just traveling. It wasn't like I was really out in public. I guess that was yesterday. What day is it? Yesterday was Monday. On the way
Today,
home, I had on
today's
socks and
Tuesday.
sandals. And so did Coach, who was riding with me. And so we were just sporting together, the socks and sandals. What?
Yeah, Taipei. There you go, Teresa. Yeah,
Me
she needs
too.
to come here. Yeah, I know. She should.
I'm planning on it.
Yeah. Yeah, come on.
I'm
So
planning.
Virginia's cool. Virginia has lots of cool things,
Well,
and
West Virginia was cool.
I was telling her earlier that people in West Virginia, okay, people in Virginia, when people go, "Oh, West Virginia," they go, "No, Virginia,"
It was
and it's because
beautiful.
there's a different vibe. I'll
It
just say it
was
like that. There's a different
it was
vibe of
it was
people.
beautiful,
Yeah.
and we're gonna leave it at that.
They're like, "Whoa, West Virginia," but
I've never seen so much green in August. Well, what is it? September?
uh-huh. Oh, it's
Because
beautiful
here
there.
everything's brown. Everything's dead here. So
Yeah,
I was amazed at
it's
how
beautiful.
beautiful it is. Yeah.
Yes. No, West Virginia is beautiful. Like, if I used to, of
Isabel said that's all I've got to say about that. She was with
course
me
not. Oh,
on the
okay,
trip.
okay.
So we're like, it's beautiful. I mean, the people were nice for the most part too. But
Teresa, I've been to West Virginia, yeah. But you know what's cool about West Virginia is deer will not come and run out in West Virginia. Did you notice? Okay, there is and I've traveled it so many times. This is how I know. Because as soon as I get to Virginia, I always see the deer on the sides eating the grass. But whatever West Virginia is doing, those deer do not stand out on the sides eating grass. And I haven't figured out what they're doing that's different. There's
I
something
don't
that they
feel
do
like I
different.
even saw a deer the
Yeah.
whole trip. Now, Isabel stayed in Virginia. She
See,
was in a
Teresa
different.
said I'll say no more.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and because I have lots of friends from West Virginia, so there's nothing wrong with West Virginia. Just disclaimer. Cheers. Where you're stuck. Cheers. Where are we? I'm gonna do cheers. Cheers. Cheers to West Virginia. Okay, now
Yes,
you're really yes. Your video is really breaking up.
I know. I'm gonna have to get a booster because if both of us are gonna be here, I'm definitely gonna have to get a booster.
Right, right.
So
So what do you guys think about different seasons of your life? What do you guys even pay attention to it? Do you, make a concerted effort on changing your seasons or, how do you guys shift? Just curious. Okay, so I didn't meet your friend, so nothing I say about would pertain to my experience of West Virginia. There you go. That's right. You can't blame a whole state for certains, you know. So,
well,
but just gonna say that I take the southern route when I come from Kansas to here, and I go through Tennessee and North Carolina to come that direction instead of go through West Virginia because of the grade of the mountains, and that's why. It has nothing to do with the people; it has to do with the driving. Like the grades of the mountains are just more treacherous, and there's lots of, as you know, there's lots of trucks on the highways right now.
yeah, and I mean, I will say we met some people from South Carolina, and we met people from Tennessee, and I had some really good moonshine from Tennessee, and um, for the most part, everyone was just really, really. It was a good, yeah, it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, small
We just had
towns.
an incident that was kind of small town related.
Oh, okay. Small town. Okay. Yep, small towns. Yeah, but I mean, Kansas is kind of, well, I mean, you're
Oh,
kind of in a
100.
small town in a way.
Well, I mean, we're not really, but I mean, still, you're gonna have Kansas. I mean, hello, it's not like it's pretty or anything. I mean, I suppose we have the
Kansas
Flint
is
Hills,
pretty.
but
Yeah.
Depends. Not like
It's
that.
not flat. Now here's the misnomer, is it's not flat like everybody says. It's got
Yeah.
little no, it's not. It's not totally flat.
Well, not
Like,
the
I
whole
always thought it was
state,
flat.
but there's a lot of flat in Kansas
Yes,
compared
going
to
out.
other places.
Yeah, because once you get to Colorado, you know it. You're like, "Oh, I'm in Colorado," because
Yep.
there's the mountains. But, yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how do I we're starting to talk about states now.
Well, every state has seasons.
Bite your tongue. Kansas is I agree. I liked Kansas. I thought it was pretty.
Yeah.
Um, not but I'm from St. Louis. I'm from Missouri, so I kinda think Missouri's prettier, but, that's just me.
I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I went through
Let's
there
see.
too.
I can say I cook differently according to the weather and season. That's true.
That's true. Yep.
That is so true. One pot, everything. Once it turns cold, everything's in one pot, right?
Yes, I am ready for soups and stew and all that winter
Right.
food.
Right. But what's crazy is I personally kick up my working out during the winter. I know you think I would be slowing down, but I actually work out more during the winter and less in the summer. Because in the summer it's hot. It's like I walk and stuff, but I don't work out as much.
Right.
I know. I did do a 27-mile bike ride this last weekend.
Yeah, I pretty
So
much don't work out winter, summer, spring, fall. It doesn't make a difference.
that's not workout is not a season for you.
No, I mean it needs to be. I need to put it on my list of goals because then I might actually do it. But yeah, no, it's not been a seasonal thing at all.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yep.
awesome.
The cops
That's
were awesome.
awesome.
And because we're live, I will give a shout out to the Ronda Verde, West Virginia, Ronda Verde. I can't remember how to say it, but anyway, police department. Because when we were possibly going to have to leave one of our people behind, they were going to pick them up at the hospital and take them to the airport to fly out. And
Oh,
they did all kinds of little extra stuff for us
that's nice. Well,
over
there
the
you
weekend.
go.
So department of
Yeah.
whatever county we were in. I don't even know.
They were in some R county in West Virginia. So
Yeah, somewhere. We stayed in Lexington, but the park was actually in Ronsaverty or something.
right. So so switching over. Now we're going to talk about life.
Okay.
So when you're going through a transition and through a change, are you aware of it?
Whew. I think sometimes I look back after the fact and go, oh, I mean, like, sometimes it's very obvious to me that God's coming in and sweeping people out of my life that don't belong there.
Did that happen?
And then sometimes I don't notice until I'm already through it, and then I look back and go, oh, okay, yep, that's what that was. But I think for the most part, I think I generally know what's starting to happen now that it's happened enough. But I think I'm probably aware more than I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there some times that you don't like it or or
Oh,
it feels difficult or you feel like, "Oh my gosh, there's so many obstacles. Am I ever going to get out of this season?" I felt that way. That's why I'm bringing it up, of course.
yeah, I feel like I've been in that for the last year.
Yeah.
I feel like the last year it's been like sloughing off things that are not meant to be in my life, people, things. And sometimes the people, that's hard when you know that they can't go with you where you're going and you have to let them go. Sometimes that's hard.
It is.
And I've had to
It
do
is.
that a lot in the last probably 6 months.
And how do
And
you actually do that? I'm just curious because what is your way of releasing someone out of your inner circle?
well, sometimes they start to remove themselves and then I have to just let it go. Where I
Yeah.
want to fight to keep them around, I have to say, okay, well, their actions are, for whatever reason, it's showing me they don't belong here. And it's just accepting that, they'll do something or say something or that makes it obvious they're they're not going where you're going, or they're not meant to go where you're going. And sometimes I don't like that. And sometimes I'll kind of, I'm becoming more acceptable of it.
Right. I used to be like cling on to all those relationships, thinking, that they were supposed to be in my life for that long. I still feel like that happens with the friendships, that maybe they're in the inner circle now and then they're out because they have other things to do and they have a different inner circle, and then we always come back together. It's kind of like we meet again at some point. I don't feel like I lose them out of my life forever, depending on the level of that relationship, I guess.
I think that there's been somewhere I've looked back and said that person was in my life to bring me another person. And then I realized that they weren't supposed to be there at all, ever. I just met them to connect, kind of like with you and I. We connected through somebody, and I'm not really, that person's not really in my life anymore, but you and I are still friends. So I know that the purpose, not that there's anything negative or wrong
There's
or
nothing wrong with
disliking of that person.
Right.
We just grew in a different direction, but you and I still connected. And that's kind of how it is with some people. It's like, oh, they weren't meant to take this journey, but they introduced me to someone who was.
That's right. That's right.
And
And
so,
I feel that. I definitely feel that. And since I've moved back here, that's happened, with people I thought I was going to reconnect with, and I haven't. And, at first I was like, oh, that kind of hurts, and then now I'm to this accepting season of like exactly what Izzy said right here. I allow the universe to do its thing, which meaning, if they're meant to be, they will. And if they're not, they're not, like I don't have to have that relationship, I guess.
And my phrase lately has been rejection is God's protection. God's removing people that don't belong in my life, and there's a reason.
Yeah. Yes, meaning someone through someone else. That's right. Maybe that was the purpose of that person, that person, or you were supposed to learn something, from that person. Just one thing. You never know. They were passing the baton on something to you. You just don't know. But I think if we get to that place of just receiving and not being offended, and not being offended, and being forgiving and just letting it all go,
and understanding it's not personal.
Sometimes it's not. Right. Right. Yep.
Sometimes that person's just not meant to go where you're going.
Right. Even when you don't know where you're going. When you don't know where you're going, because that is the thing, is if you're giving attention and those other people or things are distractions, that isn't getting you to where you're supposed to be going. They just are a distraction versus, and if you're one of those people like me, who was like, I, at one point when I was codependent, I felt like I had to have everybody, like, I had to have those relationships. I had to have, and it was a distraction to my own, path, and I didn't recognize it at the time. Now what did I learn something out of it all? Yes, that was the good thing. This is the thing about seasons, is you learn something, you've gained something, you've experienced something. So you didn't lose anything.
Right.
You didn't lose.
I think people come into your life. What is it? A season, a reason, or a lesson?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
A lifetime.
Yeah, that's totally been my experience, is that some people I'm like, oh, that didn't work out. Darn, I'm upset. But then you think, what was the lesson in that? What was the purpose?
What was the purpose? That's right. And I think, as we go, I meet new people all the time. I know you do too. I meet new people and I click with that person, and go, oh, I'm supposed to do something with that person. There's something, we're going to relate on something here. And I just don't know what it is yet, and it's really cool to figure it out.
And I was talking to one of my guy friends the other day about, even if I have some amazing guy friends, but I'm not attracted to them, or they're not someone I would date, but they show me what I'm looking for in a particular, it's nothing personal against them that I don't want to date them, but
Right.
it doesn't mean they're bad people. It's kind of the same thing with friends. And, um, you know,
Well, oh, there's my buddy. Hey,
hi, Bandit.
buddy.
Hi, Bandit.
Bandit. Hi, Bandit. It's all, I like what it's all for good until we make it bad. And that is the truth. It is up to us how we react, how we act, all of those things. That is the only thing that we can control is our own emotions at the time. I think sometimes we can't. I mean, I feel like there's other things that make us kind of, I call it that, what I had up the other day, halt, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Halt, meaning don't make any decisions, don't have any major conversations with anyone. Just halt. That's why it's called that, halt. And I think it's a recovery. I think it comes out of a recovery program. But I'm not the originator of that. But halt is so, it just makes me go, why am I feeling this way? The thing is to reflect. Why am I feeling this way? Am I hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? Because
I'm
maybe
always
those are
hungry.
something. Okay. Well, if you're always hungry, then eat something.
I do.
So Michael says, doggy, of course, him
Yes,
and the doggies.
I am going to come see you, and I'm bringing both of these dogs to him.
Yes, he wants them, I think. So anyway, she's
Daddy,
stuck.
yes. Say hi to your new daddy. His name's Michael.
He would do it too. That's the thing. But anyway, I think that is something, as we go through, that we can learn. Oh, she put a little dogs up there too. Look at that. Cute.
They're doggies.
I like those little emojis.
Yep.
See, doggies. Like, I had a season of dogs. Like, I had a season of pet owning. Like, I'm kind of in a season where I'm not owning a pet, and instead I'm dog sitting, which is hilarious.
I am trying to be in a season of not owning pets.
Yes. Well, now I'm in this season where I freed up and I don't have the pets. So now I can go watch somebody else's pet.
Yeah, I don't feel like
and I can get all the dog loves that I want.
I will go get the dog love from my grand dog. And I'll be good.
She says that. She just waits and then she doesn't hear a bark or anything one night. Yeah, she'll be crying.
I feel like I won't. Crying.
There we go, Teresa. I need to stop. Look at the people and remove who I think shouldn't be in my circle. I think I need a dog. Right. Dogs.
Well, Teresa, I have a little one and a big one. One's white, one's black. Which one would you like?
Oh, grand dog is watching. Okay.
Hi, Bear. I mean, I think that's the thing. I think we try to hang on to things so much that they're not meant for us. And we just try to keep them and hang on to them. And we need to just we need to release it and let it go.
Yeah. Release it and let it go. That's right. And that's the thing about the seasons, is each season has a purpose, climate wise and in our lives. Each season has a purpose of us growing and letting things go. Letting things go would be probably the winter of our life, right? So we're letting stuff go. And then we're reaping what we're sowing. We're reaping the relationships, we're reaping, our businesses, are, things that we've really put attention to, and it's all up to us. That's the thing is if you're just sitting there every day, letting life come at you, your life is going to be chaos. I mean, you're not going to roll with the changes. You are just going to be like constantly putting out fires. You're going to become a very experienced firefighter, and instead of the fire prevention guy, right? Be the fire prevention guy and not the firefighter. You know what I'm saying? Like be that guy, be prepared, be ready. I mean, we're going to have a fire every once in a while, that we're not looking for. And of course I work in fire. This is why I'm using the fire.
Right.
analogy. But, people don't expect fires. Fires devastate a home. They're not expecting, but if they had some things in place and they had some education and knowledge beforehand, that chaos wouldn't have come into their lives if they'd known something. If they prepared a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
And here's the thing. And we had an example. Everything is a choice. And we had an example this weekend, and something happened, and that person chose to react. I got kind of brought into the middle of it, and I chose not to react, which is, me, that's growth, because a year ago I would have been reacting right along with her. Right. And what I realized is that everything we do throughout every moment of every day in our life is a choice. Mm-hmm. You can choose to be upset. You can choose to be offended. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be sad. All of it's a choice. Yep. And we have to make better choices for our lives if we want to have better growth, better seasons, better whatever. Mm-hmm. Everything in life is a choice. And we choose to be kind, choose to be happy, choose to be grateful, choose all the positives, and stop focusing and choosing all the negatives.
Right. What you focus on is what you focus on is what you're investing in. And if you're focusing on, then
you will find.
Yeah. If you're investing in negativity, you're going to receive negativity back. Like whatever you've invested in. And if you're putting your, some people are like, oh, you're so flippant about this, or you're vague, or you're, this or that. And it's like, because I'm not going to react, because some battles are not my battles. Some fires are not my fires. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, can I assist you or do this? But I don't need to be brought into the whole, whatever it is, and we do have to choose if we're going to be brought into that also. If my attention is going to go there, what is it distracting me from over here? And I'm not talking about, I'm just talking general here. And I'm definitely, I'm not talking about, only thinking about myself. I'm just talking about situations, negative situations that happen in other people's lives. I of course I want to come alongside and assist somebody if I can. But if it's just something, that somebody said, or, this and that, which, you and I talked about this last time, I've gotten pulled into a couple of things like that. And you think at this age, I forget who said it to me. They said, so Sandy, the younger people, my son's friend, they were like, you mean this doesn't stop? Like when you get older? I said, no, it doesn't. Because people are people. And just like that, the saying, hurt people hurt people.
Right.
And we are all a bunch of vessels, broken vessels out there. We all have our own dings. We all have our own hurts out there. If we don't have a cap on it, if we don't have, if we're not trying to fix it, we're just going to be bumping up against everybody else's stuff. We're not going to be doing well, every day.
Yeah. As soon as you wake up, it starts.
Yeah. Too much focus on the night will slowly drive people away from it and move in my own direction. That's right. Good. Right. That's good. And that's right. I mean, you have to make choices for you. It's kind of funny. I was talking to a friend the other day, and it's like your personal choices and decisions are up to you. Like other people, not everybody gets the audience to your personal choices. Not everybody gets an audience to your internal life. You get to choose who and what takes your energy. What again, like we were saying, what you're focusing on. You get to choose. Do I believe that we're supposed to be servants and help people? Yes. I think that we're supposed to be helping one another in one way or another, but we're not supposed to be feeding into other people's negativity and negative situations. Working with so many people in my past, whenever I would enable them in whatever it was that they were doing, I never by me doing that caused them damage. I damaged them actually by enabling and not letting them hit the bottom because they never were able to grow. So we sometimes have to take a step back and look at that person and say, hey, listen, I'm here to be supportive for you, but I can't fix this for you. You're going to have to try to get your own healing, your own help, and try to find a way out of your situation, because you're going to come out on the other side of it and on this other season of yours, knowing so much more. And, when people accomplish things themselves, they feel so much better. Like, did you ever, like in school, did you ever copy off of somebody else's paper?
Yeah.
Okay.
I pretty much copied my way through accounting, and I'm Facebook friends with the girl who got me there. I'm not going to say her name, but thank you.
Yeah. She got you through that, but see, you're thanking her because you didn't achieve it and you didn't accomplish it on your own.
Exactly.
Right. And you probably now sit there and go, I mean, maybe you've gotten the skill now, maybe you have, or maybe you haven't, but right. You didn't learn, right? You didn't learn the skill.
I didn't learn it, but I didn't need it. I didn't really need it. So it's fine. I passed the class. I graduated. That's really all I needed.
She tried to. She wasn't slick though. But I mean, when and I did it a couple times and I felt really guilty about it. First of all, I felt guilty about it. And then I knew that it didn't earn the grade. Like, I didn't earn that B, A, B, whatever it was. And I actually did feel some kind of way about it. I was like, yeah, I didn't earn that. It didn't feel good, and when you let other people take care of all of your things for you, it doesn't, in the end, it doesn't make you feel better. I mean, it makes you feel worse, actually, like it didn't help my self-esteem in any way, because then I just felt like a dummy, like, oh, I'm just a dummy, instead of me really like focusing on that and investing and learning it and doing it myself, and I only did it a couple times myself, but that's the thing, is it's like if we don't let other people go through their seasons of difficulty or whatever, we're actually robbing them of that season. We're robbing them, and if we're trying to fix it. Now, being a support person for them, yes, I totally believe it. In helping them, like, I'll give somebody a resource of anything I have any day. If I have resources, okay. Yeah, cheating, you earned it. Cheating takes skills. I always got caught.
Yeah, I'm not going to confess to. I'm not going to confess to how many times I wrote stuff on my hand, and yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if
I was smart but lazy.
Yeah. See, I probably skipped school.
I did that too.
I was bored in school. I was really bored. Like, I was super
that was
bored.
a season.
Yeah, it was a season. Now, I wish I could go back. I was telling someone the other day, I wish I could go to college right now. I would love to go to college right now. If somebody gifted me a college education, I would take it, because I would love to go learn now. Because at the time, where was my focus at? When I was younger, I had too many other distractions in my life. I was worried about other things that weren't important. And that's the other thing, is where your attention goes. Your season is going to be exactly what your attention goes towards. Like, let's see, what did Caitlin say? You can always take one class at a time. Yeah, that seems like a long.
Yeah, you'll graduate with the degree.
You mean I can't just quit my job and like go to school full time? I wish I could.
I mean, maybe, but
would love to.
I mean, you'd be getting your degree at what, 80?
Hey, I'm not that slow of a learner. Okay.
One class at a time, though? That would take a long time.
Yeah, one class at a time. Yeah. Hey, you never
I mean,
know.
I think I figured
It's
out when
on
I
it's
went back.
you're freezing.
Up at one point when if I went back, I would graduate the same year as Caitlin because I was taking 1 or 2 classes a semester. So the good news is I would have just graduated last year with a degree. But
Right. but well, but again, whatever you focused on was where, what you invested in, whatever. And so your season now is you're doing something in a different way instead of getting that degree, right? So,
I invested in her and she just got a degree. So
well,
win.
there you go. Right, right. I mean, there's the fruits of it. There's your reaping, there's your sowing, that
Yep.
of what you sowed. And it's important, I mean, I just feel like if we look at changes differently, because some people can't stand change. Have they ever said, "Oh, I can't stand changes"? Um, who was it? So a friend of mine. They'd never moved before. Like they never moved out of state before. And I know. And I'm like, I can't imagine. I can't even ever imagine saying that. Like I've never moved out of I lived in the same place for, you know, I'm not even going to say how long. Anyway, so, I mean, I mean, some people don't are reluctant to it, but guess what? That person is really happy now. Now that they've done it, it wasn't as scary. And I think that's what it is when we don't like change, it's because we're scared. We don't know what the outcome is.
Fear of the
Well,
unknown.
but guess what? Even if we had a plan of what we think the outcome is, it's never what it is. It never what it is. So that's why living in the present and embracing and trying to really look at, what is it that I'm going through and what is it teaching me? What is the lesson here? What am I supposed to be experiencing and staying in the present and not going too far into the future? Because if you try to plan out your future too far, it usually comes and your expectations of what it's going to be is not
Right.
always what you thought it would be. So
Yeah.
Caitlin's not a huge fan of change, but Caitlin, congratulations on your new household.
Yeah, she got a
Yay.
new house.
Yes, yes. So
We got
that's
to
a
go see it
change.
today. It's so cute.
I
She's
mean,
watching us from her new hammock chair in the front yard under her big tree.
oh, nice. Congratulations. That's awesome. I mean, those two though. I mean, she's a planner. Like I can see that. She planned out her she's a planner.
She's a planner. Brady's a planner. They're a good couple because I mean they're 23. They both graduated. They've got good jobs. They just bought their first house. Like they're on, but they sacrificed to get it too, and that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people are not. That's a whole other show. But a lot of people don't want to sacrifice to get the rewards of what they want.
Well, and what's really cool is they obviously made a plan and they obviously stuck to it. Okay, they stuck to their plan
Yep.
and they invested in each other and each other's dream and visions. And that's really important in a relationship. And you're right, that's a whole nother show.
Yep.
So we'll have to have her and her
60
bow on.
years. Yeah, I don't
Lived
think
in
he'll do it. I don't
Toronto.
think he'll do it, but she will.
I lived in Toronto and probably met a guy in Virginia. So huge change and huge expectations, but constantly learning. Right. You have to let go of the expectations of what you think it should be, you think it should look like, and be thankful and grateful for what it is. And what are you learning with it? I mean, if you're moving here for a guy, I guess you're getting to know the guy a little bit every day too. I mean,
Well, I think Isabella and I are speaking this month, next week, next Wednesday, and the topic is being a slave to the illusion.
yeah.
And I think that goes along with what you're saying. Like you plan out your whole life, and it very rarely does it end up being like I
Never
started planning
does.
my whole life at 8th grade, and I would
See, I
scratch out
never, yeah.
my husband will be, and I scratched out the name. I don't know how many times and changed it to someone else, but
Welcome,
it's just
David.
it never ends up the way it's supposed to end up.
Yeah. So she's 5 and she's still learning. That's right. I mean, I think we're always learning. That's why, when my sons when my future daughter-in-law says to me, "Is it ever going to be no?" I
It's
wish I could
different.
say, I mean, I figure it's going to slow down, maybe when I hit 80, possibly,
Maybe. Or maybe
but
that's when it all becomes more clear and we start a whole nother process. I don't
exactly.
know. Here we go. Activate your
Activate
power
your
now.
power
Slave
now.
to an illusion.
Slave to an illusion. I mean, it is. I mean, it is. It is an illusion, and that's why it's so important for us to stay in the present, and it's so important for us to know who we are in the present and what our foundations and our standards and our values and all of those things are. Because if you don't, your illusion could be way, I mean, fantasy land.
Mine was way off. Mine was way fantasy land.
I mean, you can just go off into the abyss. I mean, it's I am a different type though. Not everybody plans their life. Some people just take it, like I was telling you the last time. When you don't realize that you're in trauma, and that you're just in survival mode all the time. When you're in survival mode, planning doesn't even come into it doesn't even you don't even think about planning anything because one, you think it's all going to be ruined. Two, there's no need to plan it because something chaotic's going to happen, in this. So your expectations are way low. Like you don't have any expectations and you don't have any plans. And that's a whole nother topic too.
Yep.
So let's see. Hey, I dreamed of being a beach bum, but LOL, dream on beach bum. Well, you still could be. You do live near the beach.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about going to Hawaii and being a beach bum.
Yeah, you didn't tell me that you like the beach.
I don't necessarily know that I like the beach, but I like the I like the idea of Hawaii and the culture.
Hawaii's cool.
I just spent the weekend.
Don't ever expect them to return a phone call very quickly, though.
Well, I just spent a weekend with the man from Hawaii, and I want to go there and stay.
Yeah.
My friend Coach.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Like I love the idea of the culture.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
and I love Hawaiian bros.
read my daughter's comment.
Yes, do it, Heather. Here we go.
Caitlin says, "Mom, you don't like the beach."
See,
I don't really like.
I didn't think she did,
but I like the culture.
I did know her a little bit. I was like, I don't think she likes the beach. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't really like the beach, but I like the culture, and they have pools there.
Okay, the culture is what? What do you think the culture is, though?
It's just it's like there's a lot of family values and things like that. And that's
okay. So that's what I'm, but is it just based on the one person that you know from Hawaii?
No, because I've been there.
Oh, you've been there. Well, there you go.
There, and I just like, now would I like to live there? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's one thing to spend a week in there. She doesn't like sand or large bodies.
Well, then Hawaii is not really.
It's not the large bodies of water. I don't like the salt water, and I don't like the sand.
That's funny. I like all that.
Yeah, well,
love all that.
I'm more of a lake girl, but if they could put the Hawaii around a lake, I'd be happy.
Well, this is funny. So what we're saying is her next season of her life, when she's living in Hawaii, we will revisit her. We are coming from Hawaii, visiting Heather. That's what we will do. We will definitely sacrifice and come visit and interview you on that. It will be horrible.
I'm trying to go in December. So maybe we'll go live from Hawaii in December.
Yeah, look, Caitlin, love the beach. Me too. Just all about the beach. My son hates it. He doesn't like the sand. He doesn't like to walk on the sand. He doesn't like it on him.
I'm with which son?
Matthew, the one I live with.
Well, Matthew and we are, yes, I don't like the sand all in my stuff to me, and I don't, yeah, I agree with him 100%.
Well, I can't with my name exactly not like the sand. So just saying, I kind of have to like it. So
you have to like the sand.
I have to. And it doesn't bother me, actually. I like walking on it. It's a good, it's relaxing to me. I call it sanding instead of grounding. I do sanding instead.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep. See, it's a natural exfoliant. It is.
It is.
Lovely.
And that's wonderful.
See?
And I just saw that Stacy logged on, so I want to say hi to Stacy.
Okay. Hi, Stacy.
Yeah, I mean, we're about out of time, but
yes, we are.
I want to love the beach. And maybe if I just spent a little more time there, I would. I haven't been on the beach that often, but that I'll work on it.
Okay. Well, you come to Virginia and you visit us where we have a beach. Yes, most definitely.
There she is.
Hello, Stacy. I love it. Look at the hearts. Hey, everybody. I tell you, well, next week I will not be here because I will be at the beach.
So if anyone wants to co-host with me.
So that's what I was going to say. If you want to co-host with Heather or interested in co-hosting with us at any time, drop a 1 in the comments. So just drop a 1. Let me know. If you could share out this live stream, and she will let you know if whatever her topic is for next week.
Izzy will.
Okay, Izzy will. Okay, Izzy. Izzy's
all right,
an amazing
Isabel,
speaker.
let's do it.
Okay.
Next Tuesday night, 6 o'clock.
So she dropped a 1. There you go. Thank you, Izzy. So, all right. Well, then we know who our next one is. Oh, that's a face. Let's see. That's a face. Okay.
Stacy could be in the future. Face. Let's see. Stacy, I think you're in Texas. So, yeah.
Well, we can always have a third person. So, if you're ever interested and you want to come on and discuss something that's on your heart, definitely would love to. Izzy, she'll let you know what the topic is during the week because we kind of feel out, we stay in the present. Stacy can join you. What's the topic? Yeah, it all depends on, sometimes we talk about things that have just happened and experienced because we're just going with it, intuitively. And so sometimes that's how it's picked, We don't always pick it, right? We don't overthink it. Sometimes something will come to the surface. That's right. Yep. That's right. So anyway, you guys, thank you for talking about us. And if you ever want to reach out, go ahead, Heather, and tell them about yourself real quick before I jump off here.
You can find me on Spotify, The Motivational Mentor. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Heather Dawn Coaching, I think on Instagram. And we're here every Tuesday, 6 o'clock.
Yes, thank you. And I am Sash Coach, Sandy Archer Spiritual Health. And I have a website, sandyarcherspiritualhealth.com. You can check me out there if you want to set up an appointment, a discovery session. I'd be happy to chat with you and find out, where you're headed. So would love to help you. I also have a YouTube channel, Sandy Archer Spiritual Health also. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you. I won't see you next week, but she will. And Izzy apparently. So, all right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and evening, and we appreciate you so much. So, all right, we're gonna jam out, and we're gonna get out of here. And so, thank you guys so much, and bye to.